All right, this is the Arizona voter registration form. You can pick these up at libraries, the recorder's offices, many other places. When you fill this out, you must use a black pen and be sure that it's the kind of pen that will go through and make a copy on the second page. So now let's go into further detail about the specifics of this form. So here is the form in its entirety, and we're going to go over from top to bottom. So if you have recently moved to Arizona, if you have moved from one side of the street to the other, if you've changed your name, if you've changed parties, any major change, you must fill this out again. And for a primary, for example, the August 4th primary 2020, this has to be filled out 29 days in advance. So therefore, the last day for filling this out before that election would be July 6th, and it must be postmarked by no later than that date. That is just one example for one election. The same thing applies for the national election in November. The registration has to be completed 29 days out or longer. So let's take a closer look now at the registration form. You can pause or rewind this at any time you need to. So let's look at the first part. Of primary importance is that the numbers that are highlighted in red are completed. Those are numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, and 22. These are the first 6 boxes that you will be completing. Number 1 is whether or not you want to be on the permanent early voting list, and if you want to vote by mail. If you want to do that, you check yes in box number 1. If that was your choice, then you will receive a ballot prior to the election that you can return. Now look to the right of that and you'll see where it says how to register online at www.servicearizona.com, and for more information you go to www.azsos.gov. And has been shown you can order this form through that website. I'm also putting a number for the Pima County Recorder's Office for you to call if you like. They're very, very helpful. Number 2 is self-explanatory, last name. Be sure you do last name, then first name, then your middle name if you have one, and after that a junior or a senior, or let's say John Smith III, you put a 3 designation there. Now, number 3, you write in the residential address where you live. No post office box and no business address. Number 4 is your apartment number if you have one. 5 is your city, and 6 your zip code. So that's pretty straightforward. Well, let's go to box number 7, which is your mailing address, where you get your mail if it is not delivered to your residential address. So that's important. Number 8, the last 4 digits of your social security number. Number 9, it's important to put your Arizona driver's license or your non-operating license number if you have that. Number 10 would be if you have a tribal ID number. Number 11, if you have an alien registration or naturalization certificate or citizenship certificate. That's number 11. Number 12 is your birth date. You use 2 digits for the month, 2 for the day, and 4 for the year. So you'd be 05, 08, 1944 would be a birth date. Number 13 would be your state or country of birth, or you could do both. Number 14, you can check Republican, Democrat, or other. Now, other could mean anything. It could be any kind of party, like the Green Party, Libertarian Party, as two examples. Some people think that there is an independent party, but there is no such thing in Arizona. None or no party is the other choice in that box. Number 15 is pretty straightforward. It's your telephone number. If it is a cell phone, indicate yes or no. And this is important because the recorder's office can contact you if they need to do so. In number 16, you can indicate your occupation. You may be retired, so you can indicate it that way if you'd like. Number 17 is if you were registered to vote in another state, list your former address. You can remember that, including the county and state. Now, this will not keep you from voting if you can't remember those things, but it's a way of double checking if necessary. Number 18 is your former name if you happen to remarry or for some reason or the other change your name, which people sometimes do. I know of a person who changed their first name to Arizona as an example. Number 19 is you put in your father's name or mother's maiden name. Number 20 is, are you willing to work at a polling place on election day? They always need more workers, so you can check yes or no there. Number 21, put your email if you have one. That's another way they can contact you in case there's a problem. Number 22, very important, and some people leave this out. Are you a citizen of the United States? Also in that box is, will you be at least 18 years old by election day? Now, number 23, if you have no street address, you will draw a map of where you live. So let's take a look at that now. So we've already done the questions in 22 about the citizenship if you're 18 years old. And in 23, you see there where you draw the map. And I know it seems obvious, but there's the signature box that you must sign and also put the date. I've seen people forget to put the date on this form. Number 24, if you're not able to complete or sign this form, this form can be completed at your direction by someone else. So the person who assisted you must sign and date it both. On the reverse of the registration form is this. In this example, it is the place to send your registration to the Pima County recorder in Tucson, Arizona. Then you fold it, seal it, stamp it, and send it in. And you'll be eventually notified that you're registered. Again, if you do not receive anything from them, call this number. They're extremely helpful. You will get a recording that lasts about 10 seconds, and then you'll be connected to a real person. You're now looking at the back, the second page and the very back of the registration form. When you're finished registering, you can tear this off and you'll have a copy. On the back of the copy, you will see this information, and there's a lot of it, so let's go over some of that. As previously mentioned, you must use this form to vote in Arizona and to update your registration whenever you move, change your name, or change your political party. And I've already mentioned that you can call the county recorder's office. Now, to register and vote in Arizona, you must be a U.S. citizen, have proof of citizenship required to vote a full ballot. You must be a resident of Arizona and the county listed on your registration, and you must be 18 years of age by the next general election. You cannot register to vote in Arizona if you have been found mentally incapacitated by a court and your voting rights were not preserved, or if you have been convicted of a felony and have not had your civil rights restored. Civil rights are automatically restored if you have only one felony conviction completed your sentence, parole, or probation, and paid any victim restitution. You can register to vote if you have only misdemeanor convictions or you are in pretrial detention and are otherwise eligible. To be eligible to vote a full ballot, you must submit proof of citizenship with your registration form or by 5 p.m. on the Thursday before Election Day. A full ballot includes all federal, state, county, and local races and ballot questions for which you're eligible to vote. If you do not submit proof of citizenship and we can't acquire your proof of citizenship from the Motor Vehicle Division of the statewide voter registration database, you'll receive a federal-only ballot, which has only federal races, no state, county, or local races, or initiatives or referendums. You don't need to resubmit proof of citizenship if you previously registered to vote in Arizona and submitted citizenship proof. Then, valid forms of proof of citizenship. If you have an Arizona driver's license or non-operating license issued after October 1st, 1996, you write the number in box 9 in the registration form. This will serve as proof of citizenship and no additional documents are needed. However, if your license was issued when you're not a citizen, but you later became one, complete box 11 or provide another form of proof of citizenship. Here are other acceptable proofs of citizenship, and you only need one. A legitimate copy of a birth certificate that verifies citizenship. If the name on the birth certificate is not the same as your current legal name, submit supporting documents like a marriage certificate. Next is a copy of the pertinent pages of your passport. Next, presentation to the county recorder of U.S. naturalization documents or the alien registration number, naturalization certificate number, or citizenship certificate number. And that's box 11 on the registration form. Next is the Indian Census number, Bureau of Indian Affairs number, a tribal treaty card number, or tribal enrollment number. That's box 10 on the front. Next is a legible copy of your tribal certificate of Indian blood or tribal or Bureau of Indian Affairs affidavit of birth. Finally, do not send the original documents. Make a copy of proof of citizenship and mail it with your completed registration form to your county recorder. Visit www.azsos.gov if you have any further questions about proof of citizenship. I realize that this is a lot of information, but it's important that these steps are followed so that you are registered properly. After you complete the registration form, what you will do is remove the second page, so there'll be a copy. Now what you'll notice is there's an adhesive strip on the bottom that you can remove. At this point, you fold this, you seal it, you put your stamp here, your return address, you send it in to the recorder's office, and in a short period of time you'll be notified that you are officially registered. You'll get a voting card. That's it.